In this video, I will be showing you the demo of student management application, which I call OpenCampusPro. And I will be showing how the application will behave when there are a lot of records present in it. So hey guys, it's Vishwit. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So let's get started. So if you haven't watched the previous videos, I do encourage you, please go and watch them. And if you haven't watched it, okay, you are fine along. You can move along with this particular video. Okay, so I have completely deleted everything. Okay, and we will be completely setting this up from first. Okay, like there are no databases, nothing. I have removed the entire repository. Okay, so I will be using the programming directory over here, okay, which is completely empty in this case. And what I will do is I will go and I will copy it, okay, and I will open in console. Okay, we have so many consoles open. I'll delete them, and I will just do git clone and paste Control Shift V in Linux. Okay, and it has downloaded. Okay, so first what I'm going to do is I will be activating the environment. Okay, and before activating, let's go inside this particular OpenCampusPro. Fine. And if I do ls, okay, so I haven't talked much about the directory structure, and I will talk about it in the next video, but this is, I want to focus on the working of the applications with a lot of examples. Okay, so what I will do is I will go to first I'll activate the environment, Python environment. Okay, so it's backend VE. I think it's not even present. It's not even created, right? Okay, it's not even created. Okay, then what I will do is I'll just run the setup.sh. Okay, chmod u plus x setup.sh. Okay, very important. Run this, else else the file is not executable. Now what I will do is /setup.sh, and it is going to set up the environment because there are no environment present. We need that. Now it's going to set it up. So now everything is running, everything is well and good. Okay. Now what I will do is I think we can log in. I think we are good to log in. Let me minimize this. We are good to log in. Let me sign up because there are no entry present, and I will use my name. Okay. @email.com, and the password I will give as 1234. Here I'll give it as 1234. Okay, I'll sign up. Not now. So as you can see, I am logged in. I can go into dark mode or into light mode, my wish. Now there are no records present. Okay, it's completely clean. Now what we are planning to do is seeding this application with information. Now there is a database file that is yet to be that has been created. So if I show you the directory structure, so I haven't talked about the directory structure, like how everything is set up yet, but we will talk about that in the next video. But I'll show you where the script lies for the test for the seeding database, for seeding the database actually. So if you go to backend, if you go to test, here you can see the seed database is present. Okay, so we'll be utilizing this particular seed database. So what I will do is I will open in a new console. This is something you don't have to do it. Okay, I am just showing you how it will work, but you don't have to do it. This is just for the demo. Okay, so I am just showing for the people who are interested, who want to know like how it will look like, how they want to do it. Okay, they want to see the database. I'm just showing for them. So what I will do is first I have to go into cd backend. Okay, first I have to activate the environment. Source venv. Okay, since it is Linux, it is bin activate. Okay, now it's activated. Now what I have to do is I have to do Python. Okay, and our seed Python script is present inside backend test. Okay, so it is inside test slash seeded database.py. Okay, this is our seeded database.py. Okay, if we execute this, it has executed. Fine. Now you can see courses 5 it has created, students 50, teachers 50, 15 batches, 300 attendance records, 150 fee records, marks record is 75 and users is 7. Okay, that's it. So it has seeded the database. Now we don't have to do anything. You don't have to rerun the application. It should be present in the UI. So if I just open Firefox, okay, we can see it's completely 00. Okay, and if we close this, and if we just refresh, now you can see all the information is present. 50 students, 50 teachers, 5 courses, 15 active batches, 64.67% attendance ratio. Okay, I mean attendance rate. So everything is present. Now, what I was searching is the particular database where it is present. Okay, maybe we'll have a separate video. Okay, where I will show you all the like where the databases are, where everything is like how everything is arranged, where the documentation is. Okay, but as of now, we are good with the live demo. So you can see there are so many students. So many students. Okay, this is what I was talking about. So now we get a live demo of how this application will behave in real life. Okay, so now let's suppose there are so many students. I can go to the last, I can go to the first, I can go to the next, previous. Okay, now here I can search student via name, email, or ID. Okay, let's suppose I can do student 3 at the rate it filtered based upon the email. Now I can do someone like Erin Bailey. Okay, fine. Or we can use the ID, but I'm like you got the idea, right? It will work. That's it. 0010. Okay. So we are able to filter based upon the name. Let's suppose you want to do that, and we can do that based upon the batches. Okay. So there are a few students that don't have any batches, like unassigned. These are the unassigned people. These are the batch 1, batch 2, okay, batch 3. And we can filter based upon statuses like active, inactive, graduated. Okay, we can do that too. And we can also check the enrollment date. Okay, maybe from first. Okay, I think let me give it some time. And yeah, I think that is fine. So enrollment date somewhere from this 4th April 2025 till 4th, I mean 1st April, sorry. Yeah, 1st April 2025 to 26th April 2026. Okay. So these are the students that have enrolled within that period. Okay. So we can do that. And I also have the option to clear all these filters. So it's just clear, and you can see, you can go ahead and edit, you can go ahead and delete. Okay, if I delete this, it's a little bit slow, but it works. Okay, you can see student delete successfully, but you can't see it because my webcam is in that particular position. But if I delete now again, delete now and delete, and it is deleted. I think now you can see it's clear. So that's for the student section. Now, if I go into the teachers section, now as I shown you, you can search by name, email ID, that you can do, and you can search by specialization like computer science, data science, web development, okay, machine learning, and you can see these people have batches assigned to them. Like Barbara Perks has one batch assigned, which is the machine learning. Okay, this is the particular batch name. And as I showed, you can just like view the batches. I think it shows the same thing. Okay, you can view the batches and you can edit it and you can delete it. Okay, so that's how this two teacher section work. You can do filter based upon this their specialization. Okay, and okay, this two functionality are completely same. Okay. So here the main idea was I wanted to see like how many batches the particular teacher was involved in. Okay, so as you can see, here is the one batch, here is the two batch, but even this button, the view batch, and this shows the same information, but the main idea was to see get the number, the value. Okay, so you can see here this particular teacher is enrolled into one batch, and here this particular teacher is enrolled into two batches, and you can cross verify them. Okay, I'm not saying that this application is not having any bugs, that there could be bugs that you might see if you are using it. So just be aware that there could be bugs. Like I try to resolve as many bugs as I could. Okay, there were a lot when I was even recording this video. So these are the courses. Okay, 5 courses. We have I think 15 batches, and that's good amount of batch capacity, start date. I think all the details are present. Now you can see the marks based upon batches, or you can search for a student ID. Okay, maybe Amy Petty. Okay, like you have a lot of options to filter. Okay, you can just drill down and filter. Okay, so for this marks you can see this is the student ID, student name. This is the particular batch he or she is enrolled. I think Christina is, I'm guessing it's a she. So it's a batch. This is her batch. This is the course. This is her marks, and she has passed. Okay, so you can see this just this just works as expected, and you can go to the next pages. Okay, I have also given the option to go to the first page and go to the last page. Okay, and attendance is something very beautiful that I like. And let's suppose you want to go into web dev. Okay, uh, you can see there are a few people. Maybe I want more people. Actually, I want a batch where there are a lot more people. Okay. Uh, I'm not able to find that many, but okay, let's suppose for web dev. Okay, so I can mark all of them as present. Okay, so if I go into the dashboard, currently the attendance rate is 63.57%. Okay, now if I go for web dev and if I check okay, let's suppose for this web dev, I want to mark all of them as present. I'll save it, and it is saved. Okay, perfect. And let's suppose for the another batch, this 3 people, I'm marking all of them as late, but it is done. Okay. Uh, Maybe machine learning, web dev. Okay, why we don't have so many people? Like we have less people actually. So I can mark all of them as absent, and I'll save. It's marked as absent. Machine learning, I'll mark all of them as present, save, present. Okay, and based upon that, your percentage will change. And that's about attendance and fees. So I am using the Indian currency. So if you are watching this from somewhere else, you can just update this particular symbol, and maybe you have to update this numbering style. Okay. So this is like Indian. I'm just considering it as an Indian amount. So this is 11 lakhs 70,000. That's the amount that the total fees has been raised. Okay, and 6,92,000 has been collected, and 4,77,500 is still outstanding. And you can just do a pay, and it will get settled. Okay, so that's how you can do it. If you want, you can delete it. Okay, if you can delete it, it's completely up to you. And if you can go to next. Okay, and I think okay, let's pay for this. Let's suppose I'm paying 20,000 rupees and mark as paid, and you can see this amount got changed. Now 7,17,500 is collected and 4,52,000 is pending. Okay, well then good. Now if I go into the report section, 40 students are total students, 25 of them are active. I deleted 2 of them, I believe. There are 50 teachers, 5 courses, 15 batches, 63.1% attendance rate, and this is the outstanding amount of fees. So this is the attendance report: 183 present, 51 absent, 56 late, 63%. I mean, you can read it. Like, I don't have to read it for you, right? You can read it. It's pretty straightforward. And obviously you have the dark mode, you can use it. Okay, and this UI is like, it's fine, but it won't work for the mobile. Like if you want to open this in the mobile, I mean, you can't open this in the mobile as of now. You need to deploy it to some cloud service. Okay, so then you can use it in the mobile. So this is how the application work when there are entries present, okay, in it. And you just saw like when I changed few things, how things got changed in the dashboard. So for this video, I'll keep it over here. In the next set of videos, I'll show you how the documentation is done, how you can check the diagrams, the flowchart. Okay, and also we will be making some more enhancements so that you can, if you want, you can run it in Docker, or maybe you can like if you want, you can push it into AWS. Okay, and I think we can integrate an MCP server also just for the demo. I think it will be an awesome thing to do. Like if we add an MCP server into this example, maybe a chat box over here. Okay, let's see. Maybe we can do something like that. But yeah, for this video we are good. So if you like this video, do press that like button, and I'll see you in the next awesome upcoming video.